There were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
Because he wanted to be on your stream. He wanted to fuck with you while you were streaming because he stopped streaming because of you, because you were stealing his viewers, which isn't how it works. Instead of taking responsibility and going, why are they choosing to watch her and not me? That could be because she's more attractive. That plays a factor. Maybe she's more entertaining. Instead of trying to figure out what you're doing wrong on stream to lose those viewers, or instead of looking at them as shared viewers. Oh, my viewers are checking out my girlfriend, and then knowing that they'll come back and that they'll watch both of us. Instead of sharing it and building that empire together, you acted like a fucking man-child before it. Like, the insecurity and the jealousy here is off the fucking charts. He's the streaming equivalent of that. You buy him some viewership, you buy him some view bots. I'm good at streams, people like me. Look at me, look at me, people like me. Oh, you're so good, Mizkif. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. People do like you. And they like me too, but they wouldn't notice me if it weren't for you. Every time your number goes up, mine goes up. Oh, it's all because of you. Yeah, it's because of me. I'm a good streamer. And then you leave him, and he goes, where my viewers go?
And the next thing, at the end of my last stream, I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really did not want to talk about, but I feel like those things developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So I've already seen a lot of people speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right. I don't think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today. And I want everyone to be aware that I've been handling the situation very seriously, and I've
Alright, she's setting the stage now to let everybody know how serious it is.
spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review.
So separate lawyer from the Twitch one. Good. Sue Mizkif too. Nothing says you're serious like getting a lawyer. See, a lot of times with these allegations, like they're just allegations, and that's why people go like, "Oh, well, you should have gone to law enforcement. Oh, well, you should have gone through the proper channels. This is just a baseless allegation," and blah blah blah. Which I've already, to be fair, I've already seen some of that on Twitter regarding Mizkif. Like, she's already gonna have to deal with that because his fan base is gonna try to defend him. Like, that's just gonna happen. Even if he's a complete piece of shit, there's still gonna be people in his fan base that are gonna try to defend him. But putting all your ducks in a row and just coming to the table with a lawyer and saying, yeah, this is what I'm doing, and showing that you mean business, well, that alone adds a little credibility to the allegation. So it's a good move. It's a good move.
Everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right, because it's so serious. And I
told you she was a smart girl. Ducks in a row. She's coming out the gate swinging.
I feel like it's gonna change things forever. And so today, I'm finally going to be opening up about and telling everyone sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make this dramatic or something, Like I said,
Yeah, this has me worried. Because they're going to be picking through this with a fine-tooth comb to see if you made any mistakes. And they'll try to hold them against you to, kind of discredit your allegations. The fact that you came swinging with a lawyer, though, adds a bunch of credibility. It shows them that you're serious, but they'll still be trying to deconstruct this. Still think this should have been a pre-recorded video, not a live stream. All right, but we'll see how she composes herself. It's clear that it's clear she's very nervous. Very worried.
said I really wish I were not feeling like I had to do this. Just give me some time.
Which has me worried that a bunch of people in his fan base are going to point at this and be like, look at how performative it is, or some bullshit like that. I'm not getting a performative thing from her here. This just seems like someone who genuinely just isn't used to this and is nervous.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of, I guess you could say, like, fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always...
You do a brief, comprehensive video, pre-written, performed as well as you can to the camera with everything you want to say in a tight package. Yeah, that's the best way to address this stuff. And then if you make mistakes and shit like that during it, because you're nervous, you don't want to misspeak. Like, even if you've got everything scripted out, if you word something wrong, if you misspeak, and then you think about it after you said it, like, oh shit, I could have done it this way and that would have been better. Well, it's too late then because you did it live. So that's always the worry, and that's why you do your responses to allegations or your allegations, depending on which side you're on. You do those pre-recorded for that reason, because you want them to be as airtight as possible. And there's no rush to do them either. Like, you don't have to respond immediately. I'm probably going to be able to pick up a lot of mistakes. I haven't seen Mizkif yet. I haven't seen any of this, so again, no spoilers. But I'm probably going to be able to pick apart a lot of mistakes in Mizkif's response, just due to the fact that Mizkif's response happened 12 hours after this video was posted. So that's half a day. And he probably didn't see it the moment it was posted. It was probably up for a while, and then he caught wind of it, and then he saw it, which means you're probably going to get a I'm expecting a mostly emotional response from Mizkif, which is a recipe for disaster, especially when you're addressing allegations. He should have waited a few days and done a pre-recorded video, because then he could see the fallout from it over the course of a few days. You don't have to respond immediately. You can watch how the internet's reacting to it. You can see what the allegations are and what you're up against. And then after the dust settles to a certain degree, then you make your response and kind of take it head on. But doing it immediately, it's going to be all emotion, and it's just, you are just setting yourself up for disaster, which is what I expect Mizkif's response to be, a complete and utter shit show. So I can't wait until we get to that, but I want to hear the allegations from her first.
Be personal, and just, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail.
Which, I'll be clear, I am by no means, his was sweaty as fuck. You have to drop back. So yeah, like, you just gotta think shit through. When you respond with emotions, you're obviously not thinking shit through. But I don't want to come off victim blaming here, or have this taken the wrong way. But this is... it's not really victim blaming, but it's just, I think this gives hope to every simp that she has, because if she'll date a guy like Mizkif, I feel like a lot of simps in her audience feel like they probably have a chance. Like, oh shit, that's your type? You'll date that guy? Shit, I'm better than that guy. I'm more attractive than that guy. Like, the fact that she dated Mizkif at all probably gives a bunch of hope to men in her audience, as he is not hot, and he's not intelligent, and I don't think he's funny. I do not understand what he brings to the table. Best I can figure was it was for clout, like it's part of, early in her career, maybe she was trying to build. I don't know how long ago they dated. I don't understand why you would date this person at all.
That Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing. For the entirety of this year, I have attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not.
Holy fuck, how long does this thing take to open? I mean, it's a suitcase of patience, but goddamn, can I at least crouch while I'm doing this? Yeah, okay. Hey, well, fuck it, we're locked in now.
Not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, but like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand.
I would imagine the why now would be because you've got more eyes on you right now. I mean, it's a smart move to do it now, especially if it's like old stuff. There's no way I'm going to die before I get that out. If it's like old stuff that you're addressing, then I can understand why now would be the best time. I mean, realistically speaking, now probably is the best time because you've got all eyes on you from the Twitch thing, so you can capitalize on that to fucking get as many eyes as possible on the Mizkif thing. Because again, she knows she has an uphill battle against him. Like, she just absolutely knows that. Oh, where is he? Ah, fuck.
What prompted me to do this today, and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so, like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And two,
I kind of connect with that. I understand that. I feel like she's giving me the vibe that she may be built the way I'm built, where I feel like I could probably take more punishment than most and it wouldn't bother me to an extent. Like, I could take it and keep a level head and deal with it without getting emotional. Like, I could take a certain amount of abuse that I feel normal people couldn't take. That's not to say anybody should have to take abuse, but I would be that one going, I could handle it and it not traumatize me, and I could process it and deal with it and just keep it to myself and kind of move on. Like, I'm not saying I'd let the person get away with it, but it wouldn't be as big a deal for me, whereas for somebody else, it may, leave scars and be, a whole public crash out thing, and it could end up worse for him. So I may just, if something like that were to happen to me, then I may just be fine dealing with it myself, keeping it to myself, and then moving on, and I wouldn't feel the need to like make a big deal out of it. But if I saw that pattern of behavior emerge in the next person, that if I had an abusive girlfriend, and then I saw that pattern of behavior emerging in the next person, I would feel obligated to, okay, well, I have the ability to stop you, to at least warn this person to try to stop this. And if I don't, I feel obligated. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't speak up. So I understand why, like, she wouldn't speak up immediately, but now if he's exhibiting that behavior with his next girlfriend, and she's like, I could have put him on blast and prevented them from dating. Like, you kind of feel like it's your fault to a certain degree, even though it's not. So I get it. I get it to a certain level. I feel like I would maybe do the same thing. It's still immaterial to the facts, and we're almost 30 minutes in. I mean, this whole video wasn't just about Mizkif, though. I don't think that first 30 minutes was about Twitch.
2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator.
Yeah, so he's done. So he's doing it to somebody else, and that's why she's feeling obligated. Like I said, I would probably feel the same way, because I've been stabbed by an ex-girlfriend. I've dated some crazy women back in high school. College. That was kind of my type. So I've been through some shit, and I feel like it just didn't leave the lasting effect on me. It probably would have other people, but if I felt like my ex-girlfriend was dating a new guy and he might get stabbed or something, or she may go crazy on him, I feel the obligation to be like, let me tell you what you're walking into, son, and just have that moment with him. 5 other streamers came out with allegations. Discord's pinned at the top of chat. Join the Discord. There's a section in the Discord specifically for the stuff for reactions and drama. So put that stuff in there. Just put all your links in there, and we'll check them at the end of Mizkif's response. Because I want to get her response. So I want to get her allegations. I want to get his response, and then any evidence or stuff that people that came out afterwards. I'm doing kind of a timeline thing. So we can hear them both without poisoning the well first, so to speak. So we're going in with just her allegations and just her response. No added information from anything else. So we get them both at face value. And then we add that context of, well, people found this, people found this, people found this. And then we draw our conclusion. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Yeah, I've been stabbed. I had a girl break the back window of my car once. I've had some crazy shit happen. She threw a brick in my car, man.
But obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And
I agree with that. I feel like she's handling things probably the way that I would. So I'm kind of connecting with this. I feel like I would try to keep things as private as possible. I like covering drama on the internet. I don't want to be in the drama. I just want to look. I'm an onlooker. This is like reality TV for me. I don't want to be the star. I want to be the spectator. So I would try to handle my drama as quote unquote professionally as possible, and keep my content separate from my personal life to a certain degree. I mean, my wife does stream with me sometimes, so there's an element of our personal life that's there, but drama ain't it. So I feel like she's handling things a lot of the same way I would handle it.
Still hold that belief to the
which is saying a lot, because you're right, this is young love. They are way younger than I am, but the fact that she's being so far this mature about it and this composed, and just like, it seems like she's got all her ducks in a row. She has already talked to lawyers. She took notes. Like, she's taking it seriously. So far, I haven't seen a misstep I can call her out on. She's handling it way better than most girls her age making allegations would have handled it. I have seen some absolute shit allegations from girls her age on the internet. The fucking Katie Bugs thing was laughably bad.
This day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, like I said, one of the main...
Yeah, 'cause didn't he have allegations once before? I feel like he just got past some allegations in the past, and now he's dealing with this. Didn't he go to rehab? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since that drama. I'm going off my head here, but didn't he go to rehab or say he was getting better or going to therapy or something? And if he's still displaying that behavior after all of that, like, I feel like you only get that one time. Like, you get that one shot to be reformed. And if you tell everybody you're going to therapy and you're reformed and you're changed, you get to do that one time. And if after that you haven't changed and you're not reformed, then then it doesn't matter. Going to rehab or, therapy a second time, no one's going to listen to you. Like, now it just sounds like you're using those things as an excuse to get forgiveness. So I feel like he's already burnt that card, and if nothing changed afterward, well, we'll see. I don't want to talk at it myself here.
Main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with.
Ooh.
They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that—
So blackmail.
He even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several—
Oh, so she had pet rabbits. That's where the rabbits come in. So he's going to tell everybody you killed your rabbits.
of my rabbits passed away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
So that's the rabbit part you were talking about. I mean, it's smart to put all this on the table, especially if all this is true, which I don't have a reason not to believe her so far. But this is like the tactic that I would use in high school. I get it. This schnoz is big, okay? I get it. I got a huge schnoz. Okay, I also have other huge parts, like hands. But, you know, I got a huge schnoz. That was my tactic in high school. Like, after years of— anytime I got into an argument with somebody in school, like, I get teased about the nose constantly. Like, that just always came up. That was always their go-to. Somebody wanted to bully me or something, they just instantly go to the nose. So when that started happening, like, after a while, I learned that if I beat them to the punch and I call out their tactics before they do them, then I take away, like, then I take away any power or oomph that those tactics had, because now they look stupid if they do them. So somebody would go to make fun of me, and I would just be like, oh, let me guess, you're gonna make fun of the guy with the big nose, huh? You gonna give me one of the big nose names? What am I, Gonzo? Yeah, I've heard that one. Oh, it's a Junos. Ooh, I've heard that. And I just start going through them and, like, just basically clowning on myself in front of them. And then they just stand there while everybody's like, okay, how are you gonna make fun of this kid now? Because you came over there, and it just makes him look stupid. So calling out the tactics that she thinks he's going to use, especially if he warned he was going to use them beforehand, I feel like he'd be an absolute fool in his response to try those tactics now. So she's kind of kneecapping his ability to respond. But we'll see. We'll see if he actually does try to use these tactics, which I think would be astronomically stupid, because she called you on him before you did it, and if you still do it anyway, then that's just retarded.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months.
Yeah, because now he's got to come up with a new plan on the fly, because you just shot down his entire defense. You just shot it down.
But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
Oh, how would you use someone's animals to attack them and discredit them? Just like everyone's doing to poor Hassan, using Kaya as a weapon and saying that he shocked her, because she yelped. No, let me stop. He definitely shocked that dog.
So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm gonna do this today—
shock my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shock my dog. Oh, God, that meme song's so good, I made it part of my intro. Kaya, please. She should end the video just like that, dude. Mizkif, please. Tell him to know his place. Oh. Nothing like bringing things back and grounding out a serious situation with a little bit of humor. Oh, he definitely shocked that dog, though. Hashtag free Kaya.
Today is I'm gonna run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on.
Okay, she's getting a little emotional now. It's getting me a little worried. No missteps so far, but keep it together, girl.
Hold on.
I want an animated desktop. Is that like a Windows 11 only thing? Mine don't do that. I refuse to go to Windows 11 until they force me.
I'm also going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying. I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other.
I apologize if you guys are hearing some background noise. It's not a dog getting shocked. That's my wife. She is sleeping through this right now. I would have liked for her to join me for tonight to get the female perspective, but she went to her parents over the weekend and they live like 5 hours away, so she had a long drive back, so she just kind of passed out. I'm hoping she doesn't snore.
Creators who were present for certain things, and I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no, a lot of people, you know, did.
Yeah, and there's gonna be people, yeah, so she seems smart enough to not only know what Mizkif is going to do to try to refute the allegations and to fight them, but she also knows how the public is going to react. Like, she's getting out ahead of all of this stuff. Smart. This is a good response so far. Like, she has covered all of her bases. Oh, that's an NPC.
Didn't know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think that's all that I have to get out of the way to start.
Okay, yeah, so she was literally preloading this with, this is all of the stuff I need to preface this with to get out ahead of it before I make the allegation, so people don't try to say these things. All right, so now we're getting the actual allegations. No, this is a good response so far. Like, this is the proper way to handle things. She's getting out in front of it. She's shooting down any possible defenses or, you know, weird copes and stuff that people are going to have beforehand. She's shooting down his defense and what his plan was beforehand. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Ooh, give me that crown.
So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still.
And this is all new to me because I did not keep up with these people at all. So I don't, like she said, it's public information, but it's information that I didn't have because I didn't keep up with these creators at all. So, also kind of smart to give the full backstory and the full story for all the new people who are here for the drama, like myself, because all your fans are going to know this stuff, and all his fans are probably going to know his side of this stuff. But she's also very aware of the fact that, like, there's going to be a lot of new faces on the internet looking into this that didn't know anything about it because drama attracts new viewers and new people. So far, so good. She's being super smart about this. All right, so I'm assuming she's about to give us the full backstory now then. Me neither. My moderator told me about this 2 days ago, and now I'm in too deep. You and me both, brother. Welcome. Welcome. We will wade through this sea of drama together.
Still sick, like I said. this is all public, obviously, this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know, like, all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together, and I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022, after I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking...
Yeah, because you're both public figures. I'm pretty sure the internet's going to figure it out in advance. Like, people just tend to know this stuff. Just like, you know, Hassan tried to hide his relationship with, what's that girl's name? She came out in his defense during the fucking Kaya thing. Or she's still currently defending him. I fucking can't remember that girl's name. I don't watch any of these people. But it was pretty obvious that that's his girlfriend. They're dating. like it's the internet's worst kept secret.
Stupid. And second, it was
Is her name really Garfield? Oh, can I hit the driver?
An extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but that's just, you know, making that clear for details.
The hell?
He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate, and we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything.
Yeah, I have a feeling her dating him to begin with had a lot to do with not just clout chasing, but like navigating that space. And you know, I don't know how long ago they dated, but I'm gonna guess she was kind of still an up and coming creator or whatnot, or she had just gotten into OTK. It probably could have been public pressure. There's a number of reasons she could have dated him. I can't wrap my head around a normal reason, like, oh, he had a really good personality or something, because clearly he didn't. He's not attractive. Money? I'm trying to wrap my head around, like, what's the reason? Because he doesn't seem like she seems like she could do way better. So I can't wrap my head around it. She wanted to get the fuck out of Kansas. That's a wonderful reason, and now she's out. Oh, yeah, so she moved in with him. Yeah. I think it has to be more than that. There's probably like a number of dudes throwing herself at her that she could have dated who probably would have treated her better if all she was trying to do was move. Like, she probably could have had her pick of the litter of finding someone to move in with. I feel like it's probably a number of different things. That being one of them. She looks like the ghost from Ringu. Hey, she's an attractive girl. I'll admit she's not my type, but I can see I can see how she could do better than Mizkif.
So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine.
What is that email?
I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was.
So those are red flags in any relationship right there. Guy or girl. Those are early on red flags that people need to pay better attention to. If you get into the relationship and they immediately try to control you, especially if they're doing things like trying to cut you off from family and friends and trying to be in control, like, those are red flags to leave immediately.
Friends with, and even when I would stream.
Yeah, so she's trying to control her social circle. He's trying to control her career. He's trying to control her schedule. all the foundational groundwork needed for this to be a domestic abuse situation is there. So far, he's going through the playbook of a domestic abuser if it went down the way she said it went down.
So when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening.
It's typically how they go.
It would be things like, for example, he would throw.
He probably felt threatened. I mean, isolation in the spotlight. He probably felt threatened by her popularity. Because he's a big streamer and he's secretly dating the smaller streamer and he thinks he's helping her out. But he probably also felt threatened by her popularity because she grew in popularity. And he probably thinks, I made you, and he's having that Harvey Weinstein kind of moment. And then he feels threatened by her popularity because she's outgrowing him. If I had to take a guess, that is what he sounds like, that kind of guy.
He would throw bottles, like plastic balls of liquid in it.
Throwing things is also a red flag. Throwing things, punching walls, becoming physical, even if they're not hitting you, because that's a lot of the cope that the girls use, is that, oh, well, he's not hitting me. I mean, the fact that his go-to response to anger is violence, it's probably a matter of time before he gets brave enough to hit you or comes up with a reason to cross that line if he hasn't crossed it yet. So a lot of guys will punch a wall. They'll do, I did that to avoid hitting you. The fact that you needed to hit something at all is the problem. Yeah, small penis syndrome.
Not like glass bottles at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw.
Oh, she's like a little porcelain doll. She's fragile. Oh. I don't want to say she's a stereotype, but she's a cute, fragile little Asian girl. It's clear Mizkif has a type. Again, not my type. I prefer a more salt of the earth, strong kind of woman. Not to say that she's not. She's clearly handling this well, but I mean, like physically in their frame. Just, I like thick bitches.
His phone at me, I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it...
Not fat, thick, with 2 C's. It's a thing. Look it up.
Even...
Nicki Minaj, okay? The shit out of Nicki Minaj. And she's got that attitude that, she won't take no shit too, so. I don't feel like I need to protect her all the fucking time.
Hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always... was like, oh, it's an accident.
Back that wop up. Wop. Okay. Nicki Minaj is hot.
And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, of course I'm not gonna think that, he's. Yeah, I just. At the time, I just kind of was, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense. So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation.
So that was all within the first 6 months, yeah. So he just immediately, you're mine now, and he was trying to set the stage for this is how this relationship is going to work. You're going to do what I want you to do, and that's how this is going to go.
The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened,
son, I don't need to buy a donkey. I'm already hung like one.
His behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. He was very stressed.
And then comes the cope, where they come up with reasons why they ignored the red flags or try to excuse them. This is pretty standard. So far, it sounds like pretty standard domestic abuse kind of relationship where everyone goes, well, why would she stay with someone who treats them so bad, blah, blah, blah. And they go, because they come up with ways to cope with it. You try to make excuses for them. You try to wrap your head around it because you've never, especially if you've never been with someone like that before, you don't know the red flags. So when you see them, you try to rationalize those red flags. And you go, why would someone act like this? And if it's nothing you did, then you start trying to figure out like, well, this isn't the way he was when I met him, and I know this isn't the way he's going to be all the time, or at least you tell yourself that. And then you start trying to figure out reasons why maybe he's changed. Why is he acting like this, and what can I do to help? Yeah, like it's a normal response. After you've been in one of those situations and you get out, then the next time you end up dating somebody like that, because that can happen, then you start to recognize the warning signs, and you go, oh no, this is who he is. Something didn't happen to him after we started dating. He was putting on an act before we started dating. This is who he really is. I need to leave. And that's the response she probably should have had, which I would imagine she knows that now.
A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, I always believed that he was.
Yeah, see, she saw something in him, and that's why she dated him, because he put on a good public persona to win her over. And then once he got her home and he had her where he wanted her, then the real him came out. But she couldn't believe that was the real him, because you don't want to believe that you fell for it. You don't want to believe that you're dating a lie. So you start going through the cope and being like, no, I know that good guy I met was in there somewhere. I just gotta help him come out. This guy needs my help. Yeah, and you start taking their side. Which again, all lessons I hope she learned, because some people, the good guy's not what's in there. The bad guy was in there, and the good guy was a mask. Everybody is a mixed bag. I'm sure he did cute things when they were together, and she probably had very little experience dating, and so they enjoyed the attention. Well, you got to remember, like the majority, she's in a unique situation too, which adds to that public persona, that mask that he's wearing, in that most of their blossoming relationship, where they got to know each other and where they probably started originally flirting and stuff, I imagine a lot of that happened online in front of an audience. They were probably streaming together, and a lot of it probably happened during those live streams, and she got to know him by collabing with him, by streaming with him. And you don't think about it when you're also a streamer, that this guy's a streamer, and that everything you're doing is being watched by an audience. So he's probably putting on an act to a certain extent. And she probably didn't think about it. So she fell in love with the act in the same way that, an audience who's parasocial would. You think you know a creator because you watch them all the time. These parasocial, communities like Hassan has and like some of these streamers have. You think you know them because you spend every day watching them, but you know their public persona. They're feeding you what they want you to, the parts of them that they want you to see, and they're keeping the rest of it private. So you don't really know them. You feel like you do because you spend so much time with them, but you don't. And I feel like she's learned that the hardest way possible here. Don't fall in love with me on stream. I'm only going to break your heart. I'm only going to break your heart. I feel like that's a song.
But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details.
Yeah, especially if it happens slow over time, then you don't notice it at first. And you kind of get used to certain behaviors as they manifest over time because you get used to them. And then you start going, oh, well, he must just be stressed. And then you start trying to help him through the stuff. And because you're supposed to be a team. You're in a relationship. You start feeling like you're in it together and you want to help. If it doesn't all come out at one time, then it doesn't seem that bad to you. And it just seems like, oh, he's going through some stuff. Hey, talk to me. What you going through, babe? Let me help you. That kind of thing. Which, again, is the MO for most abusers. That's usually how it happens. It usually doesn't come out immediately, because if it does, then the girl's just going to leave. So those kind of guys normally know to keep it in check until I have them where I want them. It's a process. And he started that process immediately, though. He did start with I'm going to control her social circle. I'm going to control her career. I'm going to control, everything about her once I have her under my roof. But he probably didn't do it all at once. It was, subtle. They probably started out as like suggestions, and then over time became demands as he got used to her taking the suggestions. Once he got used to you only streaming at this time because he suggested, hey, why don't you stream at this time? You'll probably get more viewers, or you won't overlap with my viewers because we share an audience. He probably had a good reason for it. And then she goes, yeah, that makes sense. And then after streaming at that time for so long, if she wants to go back to her old time, he goes, hey, the time you're doing's working. You don't need to, and then he starts putting his foot down and starts putting that pressure on. And it's the same thing with her social circle, with her friends, convinces her to spend time with him instead, that it's scheduling conflicts. Oh, well, we don't have time to hang out with that person, or I don't like to hang out with this person for this reason. It makes it seem like it's okay if she still hangs out with him, but always has an excuse to keep her away from him. That kind of thing. And that's how it happens over time. And then as he gets more used to the setup and she gets more used to the setup, then he becomes more heavy-handed with his approach to maintain it.
Of all of that, because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying, because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like,
should have stayed up there.
Like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time after the cover-up allegations happened and he was starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. We really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense, because I was like, well, of course, we share a lot of community members.
Yep, exactly. We share a lot of community members. He has an excuse for his controlling behavior that logically makes sense to her, so she doesn't pick up on it. This guy's done this before.
We're live at separate times. We're both going to perform better. It makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, things like events or sponsors or, just special things. For a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now
so he affected her schedule. He's affecting her income. Yeah, the more things he can control. This is a guy who's done this. This is just how he operates, which means this wasn't a stress thing. He's not going to get better. It's very much who he is.
I stream whenever I want, but the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? But
yeah, I get it. No, you're painting the picture of how you could even fall for a guy this abusive to begin with, if he is really this abusive. This is kind of a coping mechanism, but it explains hey, this is how I fell for it. And it also acts as a warning to other women and whatnot on what to look for. So I get why she's telling the full story. You don't want to leave any details out.
Makes sense in a bit.
And it helps her make sense of it.
So, I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public, there are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out, you know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start.
Yeah, it sounds fun. Absolutely hate Rust. Maybe if I was playing with the right people. I mean, I guess if it's for an event. If I was a big streamer and it was for like a charity event or something. I don't know what this Rust event was about. God damn, do I hate Rust.
Seeing in my chat, people start saying, unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying, like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself, I waited, or I'm gonna KMS, I waited so long for this, etc. Basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him.
What? That really? Is he a fucking... Yeah, he's jealous of her success. Called it. He's a fucking man-child. He literally quits the stream because he has bigger viewership. So threatened by a woman. God damn, these guys are predictable.
That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops.
That's the most pathetic shit I've ever fucking heard, dude. He definitely has a small penis.
Like, everyone knows when there's drops, like, it's not even fucking real, but...
Yeah, the viewership isn't real when it's drops because they're there for the drops. So, I get what she's saying there. I mean, I got drops on. I'll occasionally get people who just come and hang out for hours and don't say anything. I'll see my viewership numbers go up on Twitch, so I don't really pay attention to my viewership numbers on Twitch. I'm more of a YouTube guy. But, yeah, no, what she's saying is true. If there's a good drop going on, people will show up for the drop and then leave, or, you know, lurk in your stream or AFK it so they're not real viewers, they're not actually watching you.
Yeah,
Shit.
He starts messaging me, he's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun, everyone's like wondering where you are.
Damn it.
But yeah, he ended his stream, and then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room.
Because he wanted to be on your stream. He wanted to fuck with you while you were streaming because he stopped streaming because of you, because you were stealing his viewers, which isn't how it works. Instead of taking responsibility and going, why are they choosing to watch her and not me? That could be because she's more attractive. That plays a factor. Maybe she's more entertaining. Instead of trying to figure out what you're doing wrong on stream to lose those viewers, or instead of looking at them as shared viewers. Oh, my viewers are checking out my girlfriend, and then knowing that they'll come back and that they'll watch both of us. Instead of sharing it and building that empire together, you acted like a fucking man-child before it. Like, the insecurity and the jealousy here is off the fucking charts.
I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months.
This dude's a fucking child. Like, I'm hoping this was the red flag you needed to leave the relationship then. I'm guessing not. But, ladies, that kind of childish, you know, emotional outburst kind of behavior, that's a, nah, we're done. You ain't ready for a relationship, homie.
And it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like.
And main character syndrome, and I hate all of you, just like a fucking child, dude. It's like a fucking child. And you know what? My kids outgrew that shit when they were like 10. Like, you get that from them when they're like 5 or 6. When they get in trouble, they're like, I hate you. Ah! And then they just have to have that emotional outburst. When they're 10, like, they understand, like, saying I hate my parents is pretty bad. I don't actually hate them. And then they get upset, but then they actually talk to me now. But when they were younger, when they were like 5 or 6, it was, I hate you. I hate everything. Ah! He's having that. He's throwing a fucking temper tantrum like a goddamn toddler.
I'm just done. Like,
and I tell my kids to go to their room. You know, they're 6, 7 years old. Go to your room. You're in trouble. And then they go there and they slam the door. And if they don't get the response they want from me, then they open it up. They're like, they slam it again. The cutest thing ever was my daughter did that like 3 times. And then she opened the door and she's like, I'm mad, by the way. And then slammed it again, like, announcing that she's like, yeah, she wants the attention. This is for fucking attention.
I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that
Actual fucking man-child.
People don't know anything's wrong.
What do you mean so they don't know anything's wrong? You've been in the background of this stream slamming her door and throwing a hissy fit. Everyone knows something's wrong now, bro. We're past that point. Fucking man-child.
And, I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours, finish the stream, do my best to just like, you know, carry on the show basically.
There are no build blitz. Where's
and yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy.
Yeah, which is exactly why he did all of that. To make sure that you didn't stream the rest of the time so he can get the viewership and everything. It's so fucking childish, dude.
I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move.
Okay, good. She took that as the warning that she needs to get out that she should have.
So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it. Right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things.
Yeah, that's another warning sign and childish behavior when you're destroying things to establish your dominance and to try to intimidate someone. Yeah, it's childish, but yeah, he is straight up going down the domestic abuser playbook here. And yes, he also definitely has a small penis. This is small penis behavior.
Things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour. And like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die.
What the fuck? Yeah, no, leave his ass immediately. This dude's fucking insane. If that's really what he's doing. If he's emotional driving and be like, I don't care if we both die. And to try to, he is doing his best to intimidate her without beating her ass. Like, he is one step shy of just beating the shit out of her. And if they stay together long enough, that's probably where it would have ended. That's probably the route it would have gone down.
Like, threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't, like, even necessarily because of me or, like, because of something I did a lot of the time. Like, one of the times that...
Oh, it's all 100% about him. None of this has anything to do with you. It's all about him. It's all about him. He is the main character. All of this is to serve his interests. So I would not be surprised if the reason why he's so, so upset that he's ready to drive you both into a wall and kill you probably had something to do with something that was bothering him. Stream viewership or something stupid like that. Something he cares about. And that thing he cares about ain't you.
It happened. It was because we were just getting food. And he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video.
What? You saw a Mr. Beast video and that made you want to kill yourself and your girlfriend?
And Mr. Beast had invited another streamer.
Oh, because you didn't get to be in a Mr. Beast. Oh my god, dude. Dude, this is the most pathetic shit I've ever fucking heard. This is the most pathetic, like, reason for drama I've ever fucking heard. Jesus Christ. This is next level content brain, dude. Holy fuck.
And he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, like, huh? Yeah, I guess so.
I guess you should make your content better so Mr. Beast will notice you. Oh my god. The insecurity with this jackass.
Which led to him.
I don't understand how people like him, like it depresses me that people like him grow, like, blow up and become big streamers to begin with. Because I feel like that kind of personality would come through on stream. I feel like this level of insecurity would come through on stream. This guy shouldn't be a big streamer. This guy should be a lolcow. Like, on par with, like, low tier god, DSP, like these other insecure assholes that we all love to laugh at. I don't understand why he's popular and not a lolcow at this point. Like, this stuff has to come through on stream, right?
Going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home.
The fact that you hadn't already, like, gotten a restraining order or pressed charges on this guy is wild to me.
Other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that
This is so floaty.
I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like...
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to content. He dated you for content.
Like, I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and, like, prove my value to not be thrown away, but at the same...
Yeah, he dated her for content. It was all self-serving. I mean, she's attractive, so he was probably also attracted to her, but, I mean, he's a big streamer. He probably could have dated a number of attractive girls. He chose you because you had an audience he could siphon. Because you had an up-and-coming career that he could control. This wasn't even a relationship. This was one long collab for him.
Same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it.
I mean, I'm not going to say that this is the right answer, because it's not. But the easy way, if you just didn't want to have to deal with the bullshit and see how the relationship played out, If ever there was an advertisement for fucking view bots, this is it. This is it. Because anytime she noticed her numbers approaching his numbers, then you treat him like the child he is. You go out, you buy a view bot, you tack on an extra 10K to his viewership to give yourself room to go. So he's always ahead of you. But his viewers aren't real, yours are. So every time you get close to approaching his numbers, you go to that view bot website, let me buy another 10K viewers for him. And then you buy him some viewers and make him feel better. And then he'll fucking keep promoting you and he'll help you get big. And then when you break up, the view bot ends and he'll plummet off a cliff and you'll get to keep all those viewerships and then you can laugh at him. You pull the rug out from under him then. It's the equivalent of like your little brother comes in the room to play a video game with you and you don't want to actually play the video game with your little brother. You know, you're 10 years old, your 5-year-old brother wants to play. So you give him the controller, but it ain't turned on. So he's pretending, oh, look how good you're doing. Look how good you're doing, little Mike. Little Mikey, you're doing so good. He's just fucking slamming the controller against his face like a retard. I'm good at games. Yeah, he's the streaming equivalent of that. You buy him some viewership. You buy him some view bots. I'm good at streams. People like me. Look at me. Look at me. People like me. Oh, you're so good, Mizkif. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. People do like you. And they like me too, but they wouldn't notice me if it weren't for you. Every time your number goes up, mine goes up. Oh, it's all because of you. Yeah, it's because of me. I'm a good streamer. And then you leave him, and he goes, where my viewers go?
And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of like during an adult relationship with an abusive person of the wife or the girlfriend going out and getting a hotel room like just to get away from him for a little bit, just so I can kind of compose my thoughts because I don't know what else to do.
But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan.
And the fact that you're doing it at friends' houses too will probably lead him. Well, I mean, even if you did it at a hotel room, I guess, and they just accuse you of cheating. But I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Like, sometimes I get it. You just gotta get away from that shit.
House to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly, like, deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy.
Yeah, because he has a public persona. He knows what he's doing is wrong, and he doesn't want people to see it. So he does his best to hide it.
I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate, like, later asked me about it, and they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay?
Yeah, and they're never as good at acting as they think they are. People notice. People will know. All right, Platinum 2.
And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them. Because
well, at least you're not doing the blame yourself thing. Because a lot of times girls in that situation will do the blame themselves thing where they go, I didn't tell anybody about it because I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought he was reacting that way because it was me. I was driving him to do that. Because a lot of times those guys will do that stuff, be like, why do you make me do this? See, I don't want to act like this. You know, and they have that moment. And they make the girl feel like it's their fault. Like, oh, if I just behaved better, if I just did this better, then he wouldn't have these reactions. I'm clearly frustrating him to the point that he's doing this and he doesn't want to. I'm super frustrating. I'm doing something, and they make it about themselves because that's what the guy trains them to do. I'm glad to see she didn't fall down that hole.
Because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined, I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better, basically. Which
just can't be hard to recount all of this because going back over it like this, doing the play-by-play and talking about it the way she's talking about it, she understands that this makes her sound stupid because in her mind she knows that at this point I should have left, or at this point I should have left, or at this point I should have left. So now you have to make these reasons why you stayed, and when you give those reasons like I just hoped it would get better, you realize how dumb that sounds in retrospect, but in the moment, it probably made sense to her at the time.
Honestly, don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar and was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car.
So he's going to take it out on the animals. Which is ironic that his plan was to accuse her of killing their rabbits, and he's clearly taking his anger out on animals here. I mean, not physically. Maybe that'll come next.
And grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even
it's the control over the house because they're broken up at this point and she's going to move out and he knows she's leaving. So he's just trying to establish his dominance over the house. So he took it out on the animal. Jesus. To be fair, Cheddar is an asshole. I mean, all cats are assholes, but still, that doesn't excuse this shit. This is man-child behavior.
Remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they were like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day.
I mean, I have a cat and a dog. My cat's definitely the asshole of the two. My dog's a good dog. I've trained him well. And I did it without shocking the shit out of him. But that cat, there's no getting through to that cat. I can catch him going into the trash or something 100 times. I can punish him, I can yell at him, I can put him in his pen, I can do the same stuff I do with the dog to train him. Raise my voice, no, and let him know it's bad. Then I take him over, put him in the pen for a few minutes, give him kind of a timeout. Works on the dog. That cat will get out of that pen and go right back to that trash can. He's a fucking asshole.
Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone.
Understandable.
So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons that everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and
that's never the best thing to do. I will say that my dad used to do that shit growing up. Is we would have an argument, and my dad would lose his shit. He'd fly off the fucking handle. He would yell. He would sometimes throw things. He would do a lot of the things that Mizkif does. And to be clear, my dad never hit any of us. And he wasn't an alcoholic or anything like that. He just had anger issues. But then the next day, it was very rare that you got an apology from him. Sometimes we would, if it got real bad, then he would apologize and be like, look, I shouldn't have done that. And he'd try to make up for it. But most of the time, the response to it was the next day, just pretend like it didn't happen. Punishment didn't come, like all of those things didn't happen. He just never addressed it. It was as if he never got mad. We just had to pretend like it didn't happen. And that's unhealthy. I can tell you firsthand, that's unhealthy. And it makes you not trust that person. It makes you like, you feel like you got to walk on eggshells around them because, yeah, everything's fine now, but he may want to pretend like that didn't happen, but I remember that happening. I remember his response to this thing. What's his response going to be next time? And a lot of times it was stuff that was out of our control. He was mad about something else, or like something that happened because of something that we did that we had no control over.
I felt like if I, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway. So, but yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and like even talk to other people and like kind of present like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever,
Remember, I said you can only play that card once, that therapy card once. You can promise it for a while, and then when you actually go, it turns into oh, are you actually going this time? And then when you actually go, if that change you're promising doesn't happen, then it's over.
There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice, and he'll leave me alone. Because
yeah, you got to placate him like a child, like make them feel like they chose to do this thing. Because you do that with children to a degree. Like, you tell them to do stuff and they're being rebellious and they don't want to do it. So instead you trick them into thinking it's their idea to do it. And they're like, yeah, we should do this. Yeah.
Because whenever I would try to push...
He's a literal fucking man-child, dude. Like, every response, every way to handle the situation is the way you would handle it with a child.
For it, it just felt like I couldn't, like, really sever it, if that makes sense. But, obviously, hence me doing this stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure.
Closure is just an excuse to try to get the person back. That's all that is. Closure comes when you end the relationship. That's the close. Anytime someone's like, I want closure, we did close it. I ended the relationship. That's your closure. That's just a way for them to try to get back with you, to try to manipulate you that one last time.
Came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high, because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch. and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with.
Okay, yeah. So you're crying, he's trying to comfort you. You guys aren't in a relationship.
But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively.
What the fuck? Read the room, bro. Girl crying is not, and you comforting her is not go time.
Shoved his hand down my pants.
What the, he's like a fucking teenager. He's like a fucking teenager. He doesn't understand that, oh, this is not the time for this. He's just like, oh, girl, let me touch her. That means I can do stuff. Holy fuck, dude. Rapist behavior now.
And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said,
Damn it.
I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
I mean, you feel weird. Oh, god damn, this character sucks. You accurately read the situation. You did do something wrong.
Without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try.
Yeah, because he's trained you to be that content brain, to have that pressure on you, because y'all's entire relationship sounds like it was more about the stream than it was about y'all being together and being happy.
To keep things together, if that makes sense. I felt like I'd caused trouble for so many other people.
Dude.
If I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better and that, he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would.
Yep, that's a common tactic, to be like, well, I never hit you, so I'm not abusive. Like, they think the line for abuse is at physical contact, and they'll throw stuff at the walls, they'll freak out, they'll yell, they'll do all kinds of other damage, but they won't actually hit you. And they think as long as they don't cross that line, then they're okay. That is not where the line is, by the way. Still came back to third.
He'd say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you.
Which means he knows what he's doing is abusive. Oh, God. You know what you're doing is wrong. You have a guilty conscience about it, but you're like, make sure people know I didn't hit you, because you know people would expect it from you, because you know that what you're doing sounds abusive, and if she tells it to anybody, then they're going to assume that you hit her because you're doing all the other abusive behavior. So you're driving that one thing home where make sure they know I didn't hit you. Make sure they know I didn't hit you, because you think that that'll save you. You think that that'll make you not abusive. It's not. You're still an abusive prick. You're still an abusive prick who's not mature enough for a relationship. That's what I'm getting from this.
Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like...
Oh shit, they were in there. Damn. So you had to deal with this shit, with Mizkif, and all of this shit, and the stream bullshit, and you had to deal with Pirate Software because you joined OnlyFans. Oh my God, I feel for this girl. You had the hardest job in the world. Hassan's right. Streaming is a hard job. At least it would be for her. Damn, I did not envy your position.
December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought.
Oh my God, he's an actual Jesus Christ! It just gets worse. Like the man-child behavior gets worse. I can tell you right now that this kind of behavior kills a relationship. It ends a relationship. My little brother did this with his ex-wife being the key here. They lived at my dad's for a while when they were getting a new place or something. I can't remember the reason, but I'd go over there and they'd be living there. And I remember I went over there with a friend. I was single at the time, but I'm with a friend, and it's Valentine's Day. We're over there. We're getting ready to go out. We're gonna go bowling or something. You know, we're all single, so we're gonna go out and do like a singles thing for Halloween. Not for Halloween, for Valentine's Day. And my friend asked him, or asked his wife, what he got her for Valentine's Day, like what their Valentine's Day plans was. And he felt so bad for her that he invited her bowling with us, which only made things worse, by the way. But he asked her what my brother got her, and she said, we're going out. He got me flowers and a mount. And he was like, what do you mean flowers and a mount? Like, where are y'all going? And she said some crazy thing like fucking Schmagenrog or some shit. And he's like, wait, are y'all going on a date in World of Warcraft? And she sounded so depressed by it. She was like, yeah. And the flowers were also an in-game item. And so was the mount. Everything he did for her for Valentine's Day was in World of Warcraft. That was their relationship. Their relationship was all about World of Warcraft. He was absolutely addicted to the fucking game. It was sad to watch. And then he like lost his shit because my friend was like, that's depressing. You want to go out somewhere real? You want to go out? And he wasn't even interested in her. Like, he just felt bad for her. Like, he had no interest in like hooking up with her or anything. That wasn't his intention. He just felt bad for her. And he was like, you want to go out to a real place? We're going bowling. You can tag along. He can come too, you know, kind of. And he just shut the door on us to that bedroom. And he was like, no, we've already got plans. And he just got so pissed about it. Oh, it was depressing. And I could tell she was depressed by it. Needless to say, they got a divorce. He lost his job because he chose World of Warcraft over his wife. It's fucking... Oh, man. That is absolute incel behavior, dude.
Thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And, Yeah,
if you perform too well, you're going to be punished. I mean, she could have done the ViewBot thing, but my God, if your relationship hinges on your ability to afford your husband a ViewBot, that's so... Jesus Christ.
Actually wanted to show some of those messages. Because obviously a lot of these things...
Oh shit, she's about to leak DMs. She's about to leak DMs. Let me get out the game for a minute. We have to look at this. We have to go full screen on this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out.
Don't worry, I'll read them for you guys.
Because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying.
Damn, she got a whole folder of them, man. There you go, pull them up. Make it full screen. Oh, she's gonna... Alright, let's go full screen. Because we're gonna pause and read this shit.
And, I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know...
Oh my God, dude, there's so many.
You want to read this later,
Yeah, we are.
That's fine, I guess.
I wish you'd do them like full screen one at a time just to make them easier to read.
And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon, trying to just play the fucking game.
I may have to full screen the VOD too.
Oh fuck.
I may have to redo this full screen setup.
Um. Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle.
Alright, yeah. I'm gonna have to full screen this because it's all blurry here. Hold on. We're gonna have to... Damn, it's still hard to... see. See if I can make it out and read it and try to redo this. Let's try to redo this so you guys can see it. Probably have to edit this VOD, but... that's not it. That's it. Okay. Alright, that should be a little more legible for us. Alright, let's see if I can read them. Where do they start? They seem to start in this top.
All the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than
here.
Emmys. The Emmy is so much.
Alright, so we'll read what she's got on the screen here. 10:28 p.m. over there, 10:28 p.m. over there. Damn, these are all within like a 60-second time span. Dude, don't dude me. I asked for one thing. You don't be a tank. And now you're tanking. What can I do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Don't tank, Emmy. Do it. Let me handle the hate. What do you mean, let me handle hate? Let me handle the hate, the criticism, the you're worse than Emmys. This is all about his ego. He's a fucking child. He thinks he's going to get hate because his girlfriend's better at a game than him. Oh my God, his masculinity is threatened by World of Warcraft. Are you fucking shitting me? The Emmy is so much better. That should be a moment of pride. Do you know how many guys not only just wish that their girl would just play a game with them, but wish their girl would be good enough at a game with them? Like, that would be a thing you'd show off. Oh my God. Threatened by a fucking girl. This is pathetic. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison, since nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you to not become a tank, and you didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. Oh my God, dude. What do these up here say? But how do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow? Yes, I'm still waiting to be DPS, but for dungeons I have to tank. You really don't. Like, you don't. How can I not be tank in dungeons? Because you aren't a tank. When I said I don't want to be a tank, I meant I don't want to be a tank in raids. Which is still true, because I don't know what I'm doing. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't hear it. I can't have anything, Emmy. You just take. It ain't about you, bro. Let her play what she wants to play. This is retarded. I don't understand what you want me to do. Not tank. It's that simple. Same thing, tanks, dudes. I didn't have another warrior in my something. I just want to tank. You just want to tank. And I'm not dealing with it. There are no warriors asking to join. And why is it bad for me to pull in dungeons? Because now I'm going to get compared nonstop. Because now people are just going to say, you're better. Who the fuck cares, dude? Oh my God. Because I told you this when you first told me you want to play warrior, and it's already happening. And you just don't care about this stuff ever. There's no boundaries with you. World of Warcraft is your boundary? What's your fucking boundary? All right, I had one I was saving until the end, but I feel it's relevant now. So, just a second to get that one pulled up. Oh my fucking God, dude. Oh my God. This is the most pathetic thing I've ever fucking seen. How do I get to my bookmarks on fucking Reddit? I never use Reddit. Anybody know how I get to my bookmarks? Bookmarks. Create post. No. How do you get to your bookmarks on Reddit? Oh, I gotta scroll all the way down to the bottom? I know I bookmarked shit. I hit the bookmark button on some post, and I don't know how to get to it. Does anybody know how to get to bookmarks on Reddit? Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up. I get we're staring at a black screen right now. I'll try to fix that while I pull this up. All Explorer popular. Maybe I go home first? No, that's nothing. I don't know how to get to my fucking bookmarks. Not communities. Resources? No. Okay. Okay. Is it on my profile? Do I have to actually go to my own profile first? Downvoted, upvoted, hidden, saved. Saved. Here we go. Yes, it's there. God, I have to go to my own fucking profile first. Okay. This clip right here. Pay attention to his face in this clip. I'll go back to full screen for this. All right, check this out. She does better than him at a game, and we're gonna pay attention to his face because holy shit, it's low quality because Reddit. But here we go. Oh fuck. Let me unmute. All right. Okay, she's telling him how to do the glitch. I've seen this.
Wait, why does my controller just go off? Okay, it's hyperclap.
Okay, he's blaming the controller. He can't do it. Hands it to her.
I've been bad at it recently. I don't know if I can do it.
She's already like setting herself up to be like, maybe the game's too hard. Giving him an out. I don't know if I can do it.
I forgot your settings are terrible.
Okay, blames the settings. And does it instantly.
I can't take this anymore! Why are you so much better than me? Why?
That's him being actually insecure. That's not, I mean, he's playing it off for, performatively because he is a streamer. But he's actually bothered by that. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. Alright, well, we read all these. That is the most pathetic shit I've ever fucking heard. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. You've got to be fucking shitting me, man. You've got to be fucking shitting me. Alright, back to it. Let's see her takeaway from it. That is the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. He is a grown man. This is a dude in his 30s by the way. That is a grown man in his 30s. I'd expect this from like a 12-year-old getting jealous that a girl came over and beat him and embarrassed him in front of his little middle school friends. This is a grown fucking man.
Much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like...
I don't know anything about World of Warcraft. Is that supposed to be hard? Not that it matters, even if they were doing the easiest thing in the world. Like, you guys are playing together to have fun. Most guys would just kill. I'm lucky enough to have my wife play games with me. She's not good at any of them most of the time. She's very much a casual. But if we ever found a game that she just destroyed me at, I'd be proud of her, not like fucking threatened by it. This is absolutely retarded. Holy fuck, dude. This man is not mentally capable of being in a relationship. Or maybe he's gay. Maybe he should just date dudes.
It wasn't even like... It was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest.
If he's this threatened by women, maybe he should try dating dudes.
Like, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can, read that later, I suppose, if,
Yeah, we read them. They're pathetic. Oh my god.
Yeah, like
dude.
I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win and he hated my whole existence.
Yeah, you can't coexist with him. You need to be like behind him. He needs to be ahead of you. You need to be not as good as him. That's the way it had to be, is that he's the man of the relationship and he's the big dog, and I let my wife do stuff too. She tries, like he's so threatened by you. It's ridiculous.
Like, ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him, and he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and when
I want to know the split. I want to know how many viewers he had, and then how many viewers she had more than him, and what he considers a dying stream. Like, did you still have thousands, tens of thousands, and you're going to call your stream dying because she got 15 or 20,000 and you had 10 or 15, like she got a couple more than you? Like, for most streamers, that would be like, I get to do this for a living, and they'd be happy to have just those numbers. But to you, that's a dying stream because your girlfriend got more than you. Oh my God, dude.
whenever he hit on another girl,
I know I keep saying that a lot, but I'm just perpetually mind blown by this.
they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
Everything is in service of his career. Everything. Even pretending to hit on other girls, even doing fake relationships. He was dating you for his career. He never cared about you. He never cared about you. And I think she's realizing this kind of in real time here.
That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them and their
Because he felt threatened by him.
stream, and
They weren't a friend. No one in this space is a friend to him, including you. You're not a friend. That dude's not a friend. None of these people are his friends. He doesn't have streamer friends. He has competition.
it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you."
Dude, the fucking ego, man. And it's probably the most undeserved ego ever. Like, I'd never even heard of this guy until this. He wasn't that big.
And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And
Which is the right play. Like, you just have to cut him off entirely. Breaking up with him isn't enough. You just have to cut ties and make it as public as possible. Fuck his stream. Who cares?
because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he did something like that, and was basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time.
Weren't y'all broken up at this point, though? He just means that he doesn't want to lose your clout. He doesn't want to lose access to your audience.
And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically...
How is that going to get your viewership back up? What, IRL stream? Everything's about his stream. He is singular focused. He never cared about this girl. He never cared about any of the people he's pretending to be friends with. He never cares about anything but his stream. This is all in service of his ego. He's the fucking Heisenberg of streaming, only he's not as good at it as Heisenberg was. Jesus.
Too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And, it was, I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him.
Yeah, that's definitely the right decision. And I'm shocked that you hung out for that long before you realized it. But I'm glad you did it.
I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined. But
then you got to break them up. Yeah, it sucks that when you do that, then your audiences are going to feel like they have to pick a side. But that's going to happen regardless. You can't just keep doing this. Like, the stream isn't your children. You can't stay together for the kids. And by the way, that also doesn't work in real relationships with real children. It just doesn't. Like, it's going to affect you. The kids are going to notice that you're not happy. They're going to catch on eventually. You need to go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off. And trust me, they will get used to it and they will adapt.
I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year. It's been 10 months. But if you think that's the end, it is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year.
Damn.
It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
All right, we got more. We got more to look at. She said she's just going to show those.
And at first,
are you going to make them bigger? Okay. Guess not. Hold on, let me go back. See if we can pull this up. Let's go back here. Okay. Let's do it like this. Nope, that ain't gonna work. Yeah, let's do it like this. There we go. Now we can see it. Hey, just to make sure you don't have recordings of me, right? I'm getting harassed that you do, and I'm assuming it's nothing. Okay, that's June 27th. Then again in February. Do you know why I'm removed from everything? Why I'm kicked from OTK? Nobody's answering my calls, and I don't want to be... Was this during the, first drama you had? I don't want to bother you, but I'm panicking, and I don't understand what's happening. It's all about his career. All right, that's in February. More in February. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org? It's not your org, bro. You don't own it. I just want to be okay with each other. And for our live streams, I shouldn't have to. Okay, well, I'll just play out a little bit more. Get to the next picture.
At first, it started simple. be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things.
Okay. Can we please communicate? Again in February. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated? Blah, blah, okay. I came home. We already read that one. I came home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone and just know what's happening. Can you please respond? Still in February, a couple days later. I understand and will just leave you alone, but I really would appreciate it if we can talk. I won't text you again after this. That's a lie. She's smart to ignore it.
Like, first it wasn't anything weird.
Oh, good. She is zooming in on him. I'm squinting my eyes trying to read this shit. All right. Yeah, zoom in on that one too. There you go. All right. Understand, we'll just leave you alone. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I can't just not message you. I still care about you. If you need to talk, I'm here. Oh, okay, now he's acting the shoulder to cry on bit and trying to do the sympathy card. I'm so sorry shit like this is happening. I'll be up all night if you need to talk. Can we please talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry for what I said. Can we talk tomorrow? All right, now we're going into March. We're halfway through March by the end of this. She still hasn't responded. It's been, what, this shit started in January? It's been almost 3 months with no reply, and he's still trying. This is... She's right to ignore it, because if you engage, it's never going to stop. He's not going to stop texting you. That was a lie. He's not going to stop texting you. He just wants his career back, and it's suffering. And I'm guessing this was when he got kicked out of OTK and that other drama was going on. So he's looking for somebody else to latch on to. This is about him, not you. Hey, I found out you weren't invited to the party. I know you wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do invites. You were invited, of course, and I hope you're doing okay, and one day we can talk. Coming up March 19th now. Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. So put them in a text. Just text them to her. Just tell her the things you need to tell her, and if they're worth responding to, she'll respond. This trying to bait her into a conversation shit clearly isn't working. Thankfully, it's not. I'm so sorry for the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I need this to be alone. Okay, now he's acting like he's remorseful in order to try to bait her into a conversation so that she'll, message him in hopes of getting an apology. I'm so sorry for what happened so much. I need this time to be alone, but I really love you so much. Okay, trying to tug on her heartstrings now. I just needed to know what being alone, and I learned I need you. I don't want to be without you. I need you and your viewership. I regret so much that I hurt you and left, but I know I needed it. Again, it ain't about you, little bro. It's about what you did to her. I need to think so much hurt you and I left, but I know I needed it. Please call me. I haven't stopped talking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you, and only you. No, you want her viewership. What you want is you want to be the biggest streamer on Kick and on Twitch, and you're stopping at nothing to get there. I've been nothing but miserable without you. Good. I love you, Emmy, and if you take me back, I want us to be a real relationship. Oh, so now you're like holding that as leverage against her now. I want us to go on dates, live together. All of the things that you knew she complained about, you're offering to give her. And he probably would give her that at first, but then he'd fall right back into what they were doing before. That's how that would go. I want so much to be with you. Please just hear me out. I wrote out a lot of how I feel. I've been writing so much and learned so much about myself. Oh, look at that. He found himself. See, you can fix him. You can fix him, Emmy. Just please, if you can hear me out. I love you so much. I've been crying every night. This is textbook, man. And I'm so sorry I've done any of this. I've been so depressed without you. Again, grown man. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from like a fucking 14-year-old. like in their first relationship, all hormonal and think they're in love. This is incel behavior. Just please call me. I'll be up. I'll do anything for you. I will come home from Japan right now for you. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Make her feel like she's the priority. Can you answer me, Emmy? Just at least tell me you've moved on. Dude, the fact that she's not responding is what that means. Clearly, she's moved on. Read the room. She's telling you that by not responding. Her silence means something. It speaks volumes, brother. Holy shit. Hey, would you be willing to talk? All right, we're in April now. No response in April. Now we're in May. He has been texting this chick with no response since January. We're in May now. Hey, I know it's been a while. I just want to say that I'm going back to Austin next week, and I think that you and I should at least be able to talk and communicate with one another. I'm going to be also doing a lot of collabs, and I know you've been doing a lot of collabs, and I feel that we should. Oh, he wants to collab with you now. See, it all goes back to his viewership. It always goes back to his stream. That's the only thing this man cares about. He's obsessed. And I feel that we should be amicable with each other, so it's not weird, because we're both now doing a lot of clubs. I'm going to assume you mean collabs, and autocorrect fixed it. A lot of clubs, and I feel it would be really weird considering we're both also in the same, or that we're just not talking to each other at all. No, people understand breakups. It wouldn't be weird for anyone but you. Like, I feel like the audiences would both understand that you two aren't together, and that sometimes you have to work together because it's kind of your job. This is why you don't date. This is why a lot of offices have that you don't date people at the office rule. Because if you break up, it's going to be weird at the office, and you two still have to work together. And then it becomes weird for all the coworkers around you, because now they feel like third wheels and they're becoming part of it. We're way past that point now, but yes, that's all you guys can do. Is if you have to collab for contractual reasons or because whatever club you're in or whatever, then you do it and you stay professional. And your audiences will understand that you two aren't together, and that outside of that piece of content you had to do, you two don't talk. I feel like you're treating your audience like they're retards, but I feel the majority of them would understand. And I feel like it would be really weird considering both also in the same, or that we're just not talking to each other at all and have zero communication. I want to come back and for us to be... Damn, she's got more screenshots.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
I'm glad you see that now, Emmy. It's very obvious to the rest of us, but I'm glad you see it. I just want to talk to you in terms of business. Okay, now he's trying to make it about business. He's just trying to find whatever angle he can to worm his way back into her life. You guys have managers. Even if you have to work together and have to do collabs and have to do that kind of stuff, you don't need to talk outside of the content that's on camera for everyone to see. If you guys need to communicate to set things up and to set up a collab, you've got managers. They can do that for you. Have your people call my people. We don't need to talk. Just want to talk to you in terms of business and also just overall collaborations. So I think we should have a conversation. If you can call me sometime this week, I think that would be great. Hope you're doing well. If we can't communicate and we're going to continue to not talk, this is only going to get weirder and weirder as we're both invited to the same things constantly, and we are both involved in Austin activities. It's best for both. No, just have your people call my people. It's not weird. You're making it weird. It doesn't need to be weird. This is all you, brother. Can you please answer my phone? All right, so now he's doing Discord because she won't answer the phone. And this is back in March. Last text was from May. So he's just been throwing this stuff at her. All right, here we are. Here we are back in May 29th. Yeah, May 29th. I'm sorry. Not a day has gone by in these last 4 months where your final words to me don't go haven't echoed in my mind. I walked out of your door thinking I knew what I wanted, but I was wrong. Well, it's too late. The ship has sailed, brother. That bridge is burned. You can't go back. I told myself I needed to be alone, that I had missed out on being single in my 30s. I convinced myself I needed space, freedom, distance. But the truth is, I was afraid of commitment, afraid of, are you using like her text box she's not responding to as free therapy for yourself? Go unload this on a therapist, man. You don't need a girlfriend. You need a therapist. But the truth is I was afraid of commitment, afraid of what it meant to be, afraid of losing viewership. That's what you were afraid of. Even someone as beautiful and kind as you. Oh, man, he's trying flattery now. So I tried to protect myself in the worst way possible. I pushed you away. I told myself lies. Good, learn from this and apply it to the next girl dumb enough to date you. I told myself lies just to justify it. I said I was bored. I said a relationship would hold me back. I said I didn't want to be with just one person. Oh, okay. Well, you were going to cheat on her then. All right, cool. That's what she's going to take away from that. This guy's an idiot. But those weren't truths. If you want a polyamorous relationship or a throuple or something, that's a conversation you have at the beginning, not after you break up. Jesus fuck, man. There were shields I put up to avoid facing my fears and the parts of myself I hadn't yet healed. And in doing that, I lost you. Looking at her chat too, they're all just like, oh my God. In doing that, I lost you. Where is that? The last 4 months have been the hardest of my life. Whatever people may see on the outside, online or anywhere else, know this. I've been lost without you. I've missed you every single day. I've cried more times than I can count just thinking about your smile, your laugh, the way you'd say merp and make those little sounds when you were happy. Oh, all those things you needed to do to notice her during the relationship that you didn't do. Now you're trying to... This is just another manipulation tactic. You were pulling out all the manipulation stops to get her to reply. And thankfully, she didn't. I even had to unfollow you at one point, not because I wanted to forget you, but because seeing you reminded me so painfully of how badly I messed up. I don't care. I don't care what you had to do. I don't care if seeing me hurt you or not. You're like, we're not going to be together. I love you. I always have. And I know now I never stopped. I know our time together was far from perfect. My mental health weighed heavily on us both. Oh, now he's the victim. Now he's pulling the victim card. He's not an abuser. He's not manipulative. He's a victim of mental health. Okay, he was a victim of a condition. See, it's not his fault, and you can help him work through it. Or maybe he'll get some medication, and that'll fix him. You carried more than you ever should have had to. But I'm working on myself now, really working. I started treatment. Oh, there you go. There's the drugs. I called it. He's fixed now. He's got drugs. I'm on Lexapro and propranolol. Jesus Christ, these drugs. Wait, is one of those the ones that like makes your dick not work? Is that the side effect of one of these things? Which one is Destiny on? And for the first time in a long time, I feel clarity. My emotions aren't running wild anymore. I think more clearly. I feel steadier. I'm learning to be the man you always believed I could be. No, clearly your emotions are still driving you because you're still sending these fucking texts after 4 months. If you took those drugs and they really cleared your fucking head and they really made you see things for what they were, you'd know it was over and you would just move on. If you really cared about her and the impact you had on her before you got on those drugs and now you can see clearly, you would know that you've done irreparable damage and that what is actually best for her, if you really cared about her, would be to leave her the fuck alone and move on. Make yourself better for the next girl. This one's a casualty of the war of your mental health. If anything you just said was true. But it's not, because you're clearly focusing on emotion and you're still just singularly focused on getting her back and getting your stream numbers. This is a fucking man-child. This is a manipulation tactic. I don't believe he's had any treatment or on any drugs. And if he has, they clearly aren't working yet. Those drugs take time. Mizkif is so cringe and manipulative. I always got weird vibes from him though. He's a fucking man-child. This is what it's like dating a 14-year-old. Like these are the relationships I had in middle school when I was still processing emotions. He's a grown-ass man. This is insanity. You had to know that these would leak. Is there more? There's more. There's more. And now that I see things clearly, I know that without a shadow of a doubt, you are the love of my life. It's like a fucking 15-year-old. Every night we spent watching shows, every silly conversation about cheddar, every time the cat you told her to take and you kicked out of your house? Okay, bro. Every time I walked into your room as you were about to go live. Oh, you mean like when you walked in to slam the door because she had more viewers than you did? Obviously, you're not remembering your experience from these as positive, but everything you bring up is a negative experience for her. So you don't see things clearly. You're not thinking about her. This is all about you. This is all self-serving. I cherished it all. You cherished all those times that left scars on her that she brought up during this live stream. Good for you. You brought color and joy into my life in ways I didn't fully appreciate until I lost you. And I hate that I let fear and pain and pride blind me to how lucky I was to have you. This is why you guys shouldn't go east. This is why you guys shouldn't go east like Legal Mindset wants you to do. Because you're not good for these girls over there. You all go east. That's where the better girls are. Did you ever think that maybe the girls over there don't want you either? Did you ever think about that? That this is what you do to those girls? Go east, dipshit. You've clearly got an Asian fetish. It's all about you. Because he clearly has a type. I've pulled up some of his other girls that we're going to look at after this. It's always Asian chicks. Oh my God. Emmy, if you still have any space in your heart for me, I would spend the rest of my life making things right, loving you the way you've always deserved to be loved. This time, fully, I am leaving for LA and would like to make it work with you, even if we can start small. It's always been Matt and Emmy, and it still could be, if you'll have me. Matt. No, it wasn't always Matt and Emmy. It was always just you. She was that thing you used for clout. She was an accessory, not a partner. Is that it? Can we read them all? Oh, there's more. There's more. Hold on. Go back. I want to see that one. We're going to catch them all. I don't know if she meant to show that one or not, but... All right. She blocked it off. Mizkif. Can we please talk while you're here? A simple conversation would go very far for both of us. The lack of communication is very confusing. What's confusing about it? She doesn't want to talk to you. That's the clear message being conveyed here. And I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. This guy's a fucking idiot. He's a child. Add to your story. Okay, so he replied to her story. Can we please talk while you're here? A simple conversation will go along with. Your lack of communication is very confusing. Oh, that's why she flipped to it. This is a better version of it. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. One where she didn't have to redact stuff. Okay. Okay, that's the same one. Oh, she's going to leave that one up there too anyway. Oh, are they two separate ones? Did he send that message twice? Yeah, they are. That was all one message. These are several. That was on August 16th. This one was on May 5th. So he's tried this more than once. And he literally named it business chat. The manipulation tactics at work here are pathetic, dude.
And keep in mind,
obvious.
This is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying.
No, I think this is enough, and it shows that he's been just doing this for months, and you never replied back.
And, just kind of a funny side note, I guess. I would like to highlight this message. Because, doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the
Your text is likely human written. May include parts generated by ChatGPT. So she ran it through an AI detector, which those are flawed. I'll be fair here. Those detectors, they're not very good at recognizing what's AI and what's not. It looks like they've picked up on parts, but this could be nothing. I don't know if he actually wrote some of this or if he got help from ChatGPT, but We'll see his response to it based on how he responds to, or how seriously he takes the GPT allegation. Will let me know if he ran it through ChatGPT. If he did, based on this result here, with it being 58%, then that would mean that he did write it out himself first, and then he ran it through ChatGPT and used ChatGPT to clean it up and make it sound better. So if he did use GPT, that's probably what he used it for.
ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, so I would guess if there's any accuracy behind that, it's that he typed it out first and he then ran it through ChatGPT to clean it up and to make it sound better because he was concerned of what it sounded like. He realized he was probably coming off too emotional or something, or maybe some friend gave him that advice to, hey, just run it through ChatGPT and that'll clean it up and make it sound less emotional and more professional. He probably did that after he realized he was going to take the business angle and go, hey, we should do this for business reasons. So probably if he did it, that's probably what he used it for. All right, anyway, back to this.
But yeah, like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course.
Yes, that's what he was doing. It was a manipulation tactic.
This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll.
At this point, you need a restraining order, sweetie. He's clearly not going to stop.
Just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right?
You are. He's not.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here, let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later...
That is an assload of Kirby's behind her. Jesus. Sorry. I've been staring at them for a while. Like, God, is it all Kirby? It is all Kirby.
The room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh. and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like,
Okay.
what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, give the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But
I mean, at least he was smart enough to read the room there and realize, this will look bad. Because everything is about his looks and his appearance and his stream and how he looks publicly. He cares more about his public persona than he does you.
a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking
Okay, so that was absolutely intentional, as I thought it was.
every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing. And then he just wanted to talk about, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Senna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier. Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop.
They were attacked? Again, I'm not familiar with some of that stuff. This is my first exposure to this whole group of people, so I'm not sure what she means by they were attacked, like physically assaulted, or like what happened there. I don't know. I'll have to look into that later. Unless somebody wants to fill me in chat.
Where was I? Yeah, so, yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about it, talking about how me, Ray, and Senna were attacked. Which was not an issue, like, we had no issue with
Like a fan, or what does she mean by attacked?
that. Like, obviously, it's big news, people are gonna talk about it, it should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that.
Yeah, she seems way more mature than he can even dream of being. She's very professional.
He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Senna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that, like...
So boundary broken, showing he doesn't really care.
No one knew at all, and, like... it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, people are going to be weird.
And now he's using it as a weapon against you. This one's interesting. I think some stalker dude pulled a gun on him. Oh, shit.
It puts Emmy in more danger, and, it gives people ideas. So whenever...
Yeah, you definitely... Probably the right move is to not talk about that because you don't want to give other potential stalkers the idea. Especially if the end result of this stalker, pulling a gun on him or whatnot, if he got away with it, if the cops didn't do anything to him and he got away with it, then that you definitely don't want to leave other stalkers with the idea that they could also get away with it.
We're never going to talk about it. But, of course... as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream.
Yeah, he's just using it as a weapon to make it sound like I was there for her. I say, it's as a way to as a way to try to get back in her good graces. Oh my god, dude.
Talking about these personal stories of mine, and
there's no boundary he won't cross to try to get her back because it's all about him.
I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not say anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as like the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face to face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like...
Because he wants to be the hero. Because he thinks that that'll get people on his side, and then they'll talk you into... He's trying to recruit help to get you back. And that's what he's doing. That's why he talked about it for so long with those guys. That's why he did what he did, because he's desperately trying to get people to, you know, come to his side and go, oh yeah, she would be good for you. Like, you two should get back together. He's trying to recruit help. Because he's obviously failing on his own. He's trying to put public pressure on you to get back with him. That's what's happening there.
If anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff. So,
what is that?
I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happened to me the night before. It was like huge, like public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm like crying, and Senna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So
yeah, use a third party, use a messenger. And if it's for professional means, you know, get your manager to talk to his manager, have your people call my people. Yeah, there's no reason you two should ever have to talk again.
Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it, and he
ignored the call. Yeah, he either turned his phone off or hit the ignore button.
Just wanted to be able to keep talking because
that's why if you want people to think that you missed their call, you don't press ignore, you don't like respond to it at all, you just let your phone ring until it stops ringing. Because otherwise it's going to ring a few times and then stop, and the person on the other end will know that you saw it and chose not to answer.
Yeah, anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what...
Yeah, he's like a child. He literally doesn't think he either doesn't think he's doing anything wrong, or he's just lying because it's more of the manipulation tactic.
But, you know, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline.
Yeah, because it's still, his stream is always going to come first. It's clout is always going to take precedent over everything else. He does not have the ability to read the room, or he doesn't care. It's one of the two.
So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting, calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did.
Yeah, it's a manipulation tactic.
I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied.
Considering you haven't talked to him in like 6 months. You haven't replied to anything. You've given him no reason to believe this. But he believes what he wants to believe because he needs it to be true. Because he needs your audience. You've gotten bigger than him. Your clout to chase.
And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year.
She fucking anybody else? Hey, is she fucking anybody else? Hey. Did you fuck Emmy? I mean, I'm just curious, bro.
They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then
yeah, the fucking insecurity here is off the goddamn charts.
They told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, dude. Or like, I don't know, maybe she's single. She can do what he wants. No. She's waiting for dude. Yeah, you need a restraining order. He is talking like one of your actual stalkers. You need a restraining order. He has given all the red flags needed to get one.
Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because
Yeah, he's like one of your crazy stalker fans who thinks they're dating you even though you guys don't speak and you've never spoken to them. He is your next stalker now if you don't get out ahead of this and go ahead and get a restraining order. That's the thing that needs to happen next. I know she said she already talked to her lawyer, but I'm hoping that that's one of the reasons. I'm hoping that's part of your plan. Dear God, let that be part of your plan. Because he's gone beyond just being desperate and manipulative. Like, now he's reaching into delusional, stalkerish territory.
I was too mature.
I mean, that's assuming everything she says is true. We'll watch his response after this. Kind of compare the two and see which one sounds more plausible. Again, she's brought some evidence to the table. Nothing that reaches the level of stalker. But we'll see if he has any evidence of his own to counter stuff.
And I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of those messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters. It's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago was when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going out of my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would.
So what, blackmail?
Would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits.
Oh no, he's gonna say you killed your rabbits. Again, I said this at the beginning, just like she mentioned, that she's right to get out ahead of it and like say what his plan is. And we'll watch his response after this and see if he's actually dumb enough to enact the plan that she said he was going to react. We'll see if she accurately called it. I mean, he had time to see this video before making his, so if he does say try to do any of the stuff that she's calling him on and he still tries to go through with that plan, that's just dumb. You had plenty of time to be like, well, I can't do that now. I need to go with a different plan. Yeah, like you need to be trying to prove her wrong, but it's going to be fun to watch to see if he actually does try to say that she killed her dog, killed her rabbits, killed her pets, and all this other shit that she said. We'll see if he follows that narrative. If he's dumb enough to actually still try to go through with it.
I just saw a little bit of his response and it pissed me off.
Yeah, we're going to watch the whole thing after this, but I can imagine it's not going to be as concise as hers. Because she took the time to actually, like, take notes and plan this out and script it out to a certain degree. I still think she should have done a pre-recorded video. Doing this stuff live isn't the best way to handle this. But, that being said, I don't see any missteps. Because everyone in his audience and all his defenders are going to be going over this, looking for times when she's misstepped to be like, see, she stuttered, she lied there, blah, blah. And you can cut all that during a pre-recorded video. But so far, she's been pretty well structured and on the nose for someone who's live streaming. Like, she's gotten her shit together. All her ducks are in a row. And he responded within 12 hours. So I imagine his response is nowhere near as concise because he responded within 12 hours. That means that he did not take the time to properly formulate his thoughts, to actually digest this and process it. You don't have to respond immediately. You can take your time. And you only get one shot at a response. Because if you change your story or try to give a different response later, you end up like Hassan Piker with I just shot my dog, it was a vibrating collar. Actually, I was reaching for my Zins. Actually, yeah, your story ends up changing. So you only get one shot at a good response. Take your time. Process it. Wait a few days. See what the fallout around the internet is. See if her story changes. You don't have to respond immediately. And every time someone does what he's done and responds immediately, it's always emotionally charged and terrible. So I can't wait to watch it. Because hers has been the exact opposite of that.
And I was told that he approached several streamers who are around us a lot when we live together.
The video in the Discord.
Oh yeah. Got that. There we go.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah, hers has been kind of well put together. And if his is going to be emotionally charged like I think it is, then she's just going to make him look even worse by comparison. I can't believe he would try to make a response that soon after. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm already imagining what I think it is.
And asked if they would basically back.
What? I got up and left.
Him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened.
Oh, so something else happened at TwitchCon beyond what already happened to her at TwitchCon. I want to know if this, because it sounds like he did something at TwitchCon. I want to know if he did this before or after that. Well, let's see what he did first.
Them saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her.
Okay, I would hope that that's before, because if you saw what happened to her at TwitchCon and then you still approach one of her friends and go, if she ever tries to talk about me, I would destroy her. Like, dude, she just got S8'd on stage. This is a bad look. I hope that came before.
It's gotta be before.
I mean, it's still a bad look, even if it's before. I will destroy her. Like, yeah, he's sounding like a fucking stalker.
Whatever that means. And
yeah, we all know what that means, sweetheart.
Within the same night, he also texted one of my best.
That statement alone, combined with the like blackmail and stuff he's trying to do, like those two statements alone are all you need to take to police to get a restraining order. Like that's it. It don't take much.
Friends, and he would have known.
All you have to use is the right verbiage, and that verbiage is, "I'm in fear for my life." Even if what you're showing them doesn't sound that scary, they don't get to pick how afraid you are. What scares you is personal. You're allowed to be afraid of things. And that's all you need to get a restraining order, is that you felt threatened. You feel like you're in danger. And no officer can tell you how you feel, how you personally feel.
That I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, "Hey, worried about her. Hope she's okay." You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was going to try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me, and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this.
Yeah, I think it's very clear that you didn't want to do this, and that's why you've put things together so well in hopes that you won't have to do it again.
A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content.
And he knew that. That's why he's so desperately doing this. This is. He doesn't love you. This isn't about you. This isn't about your relationship. This isn't even about his feelings. It's about his stream. This is about clout.
So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already.
Yeah, his manipulation is childish and textbook, man.
Already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary stream because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now.
Yeah, I mean, in her defense, when you're in that relationship, when you're in that kind of situation, it's hard to see how much opportunity and how much things could be better outside of it until you break free of it and then you go start that new life without it, and then you get to see the difference. It's hard to see that other side when you're so invested in this one. And it can be hard to break free, especially when he's doing that walking the line thing where he's kind of borderline abusive. I mean, he's very manipulative, but borderline abusive, but not blatantly abusive. So it's not like he was beating her ass. It's not like, he was hitting her. It's not like he was doing those kinds of things. It was all mind games and manipulation, which can be harder to, label as abuse. It can be hard to detect as abuse until it's happened over a longer period of time. So he can kind of get you to hold on more. And then the longer you've invested in the relationship, the more you might want to make it work because you've built that life there now. And now you're not just breaking up with a guy, you're not just breaking up with a boyfriend. Now you're uprooting your life at that point, which a lot of people find hard to do. So that's the game being played by him here.
And yeah, that's
And now that she's broken out of it and she's built a new life with friends and on her own, and she can see the difference, she's right to not respond to him, and she'd be a fool to go back. And I think she knows that.
That's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if I ever talked about it. And this whole time it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And yeah, I know that me saying all of this probably isn't gonna make him or what's left of his community leave me alone, but sorry, voice crack. I know talking about this probably won't make him or probably won't make him or what remains of his community.
Yeah, she seems like way too nice of a girl for a douchebag like him. Like, she's even apologizing for voice cracks and stuff. Like, she just seems like a sweet, genuine person so far. And again, I am getting kind of the internet version of her. I don't know what she's like behind the scenes. But just reading her personality and just her mannerisms and her reaction to things seems like almost to her detriment. She's nice almost to her own detriment because it makes it easy for guys like him to manipulate her and to abuse her and to push her around. So it's almost to her detriment, but she just seems like so just genuine.
They leave me alone, but I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening.
I mean, that's usually the way it goes in these kinds of relationships. Only the closest people to you know, and it's usually kept under wraps. And then when someone like blows the lid off of it and tells you everything that's going wrong, and the public knows, like, oh my God, I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, that's pretty normal.
And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all, but I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, grievances with him. But for the people who did know about this, thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to put this out there and then, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him.
Yes! Good. Okay, she does know what she's doing. She is serious about this. She does know the process. I would imagine that's where I thought it was going to go, since she said she already talked to her lawyer. I'm like, I'm pretty sure the lawyer is going to tell you to get a restraining order. Like, he's going to know the process. Even if what he's doing isn't even that extreme. Like, any domestic violence kind of situation, the lawyer's always going to tell you to get a restraining order first, because that just looks good in court when you inevitably have to take them to court. the fact that you got a restraining order to begin with kind of already like sends a message.
In both Texas and California. And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit.
Yeah, because he's obsessed with
It'd be
PR.
interesting if that happened.
I believe that.
And I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. And I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And yeah. I guess that's
Sounds
pretty
like that
much
might be
it.
it.
Definitely not
Yeah.
how I
No.
would have been like.
No, she went down every proper path. So every defense that like, or every criticism that girls get when they make these accusations, she's gotten out ahead of. She's gotten out ahead of the defense that he would give. She's gotten out ahead of all the detractors and the defenders who would be like, oh, well, why didn't you go to the police? Well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't... Nope, she's done all of that. She's gone to a lawyer. She's gone to the police. She's gotten a restraining order. She's done everything she can to show you that this is serious and that she's doing everything that one would expect someone to do over something this serious. The stuff these girls usually get criticized for. She's already like shot down all those criticisms before even announcing it. And that tends to make me lead towards she's probably telling the truth. I mean, I don't like to make a judgment without evidence, but she did bring plenty of screenshots and plenty of receipts. And if she is serious about the lawyer and the restraining orders, it seems a pretty believable story to me. It's hard for me to go, no, she's lying or she's doing this for any other reason. Yeah, it's hard for me to say that she fabricated it. Again, every man deserves to stay in court. There's always that chance. But I don't see it happening. I'm inclined to believe her until I've seen otherwise. If I was on a jury and you showed me all of this information, I'm going to need to see what his defense is, because this is pretty fucking convincing.
I would have liked to spend my Saturday.
She's definitely established a pattern of behavior.
I would have loved to go to karaoke with my friends or something like that instead. All people like karaoke, right, guys? Yeah, I think that's it. I'm probably gonna take some time off. I'm not sure. Like, I genuinely have no idea what the response to this all is gonna be like. I really just want to, like I said, do my best to move on from this, because I've already been doing that for a year. Like I said, I feel like that's pretty clear. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for today. I asked my editor if he would put this on YouTube for if you guys want to look at, you know, any of the things that I...
And we absolutely did, because that's where we're watching this.
Shared today, but like I said, all of the streams that I referred to today are public. You can easily find them. And all the people that I mentioned today gave me permission to mention them. Except I think I mentioned Mr.
Yeah, so she functions kind of the same way I do. I don't like to reveal people's names, or I'm not going to leak DMs or something without permission. Like, I'm always going to ask that first, because I believe people have a right to privacy. But what drives me crazy is when someone accuses me of a thing, and I've done most of my stuff on live streams, because I mostly do live streaming content, and someone accused me of a thing, like my former Discord mod did, and I'm like, okay, well, you can just go look at the streams and see that you're wrong. I don't need to look at your... Yeah. So it's a pet peeve of mine that annoys the fuck out of me. Like, why would I even attempt to lie? Like, everything I've done has been live streamed and is up on my channel. Like, I don't delete any of it. Like, I'm so easy to prove wrong. Why would I lie about something that I said on a live stream? That makes no sense. But people still do it. They still just accuse you of shit. And what drives me wild is like so many people will do that. Like you'll see it on Twitter a lot. Like people will just say things and then someone will say, well, they never said that, or you can go check the VOD, and people like still won't go look at it. They'll just believe information with no evidence, and then when you try to show them the opposite, they just go, no, I don't need to see it. Oh, it's infuriating.
Mr. Beast oops, but I mean, he's not involved.
But yeah, it looks like she got out ahead of that too. She kind of thought of everything here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that I would be doing this stream, so it feels really weird to have done it, and it's over now.
Well, you wanted closure. This feels like closure to me.
Yeah, well,
There's nothing more. There's no closure more definitive than a lawsuit and a restraining order.
now you guys know everything.
She's being way nicer than I would expect someone who's gone through what she's gone through to be. That's why I call her professional. She didn't do any shit talking, no profanity, no name calling, no that she was just down to business and all business. Kept it professional.
And all the things I've been holding in for the past couple years. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Hopefully I'll be able to keep giving updates on the TwitchCon stuff, but I'm hoping to put this other chapter behind me. And like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I feel very confident that this was the right thing to do, and I don't regret any of it. Thank you guys.
Okay, I think
I'm
that's
gonna
the
go
end
spend
of it.
time with my friends, and hopefully I will see you guys all very soon. Thank
All right, that's the end of it. It's a good place to stop
I've
it
never
there.
seen so much Kirby stuff in one room.
Oh my god, that is every Kirby in existence, dude. Holy shit. Do you think she likes Kirby?
Like a whole mountain.
You think she's a fan of Kirby?
I think so, yeah.
I think she might be a Kirby fan. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say her favorite game is probably Kirby. Oh my god. All right, so her allegations were pretty damning. She had a lot of evidence. She was very professional about it. She stuck to the facts. I didn't hear a lot of hearsay. I didn't hear a lot of shit talking. Like none of that. She was just very much about. It was very matter of fact. This is it. This is what happened. I don't need to like spice it up. I don't need to talk shit. I don't need to set the stage. I'm just gonna show you what happened and leave it at that. Which is what you'd expect someone to do when they're telling the truth. Which is why I'm inclined to believe her. But we still haven't seen Mizkif's response, and then how the internet is taking it to round out this segment. So I know this is turning out to be a longer stream than I anticipated, and this is going to be a really long segment. I'm probably going to have to cut it up into 2 VODs. So we'll do a VOD where we just do her response, and then we'll do his response and stuff as a second VOD. So before